This is RadioFire.com. Yours truly, Diamond K, in here with my father. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Wonderful. Glad that you're here. It's always good for us to get together. So every Tuesday, we sit down and talk about some important news stories that's going on around the world. And I do want to tell people that the brand new Radio on Fire Live app is available now for all Android devices. You can watch us live in the studio on your cell phone. Download the brand new Radio on Fire Live app in the Google Play Store. The iOS Apple version is coming next month for the Apple iPhone users. So I don't even know where to begin. I guess it would start with something light. I don't even know if this is even light. The MTA shut down subway services in the city. Have you you've been around a couple years. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of a city like a size of a Baltimore shutting down the subway system like this?
No, not the complete shutdown. And not for 30 days. It's going to be, like you said, it's going to be even longer.
Yeah, definitely.
They initially said for 3 days.
Yeah, and it is it's great. Social media is really good because I found out through social media that the subway system was shut down. I was going to catch the subway on Friday. Friday morning, I'm looking on Instagram. And I'm seeing all this shut down, but subway shut down. I said, look, they got to be joking. So I go to the website, look at the website, and true, it is shut down. And I'm glad I didn't go up there, but they didn't do anything. They just shut it down initially. Says it's going to be for the weekend. Then Sunday night, same thing again. I'm on Instagram, and I'm seeing, oh, now it's going to be a month. Go to the website, and that's the whole deal. So they're saying 1 month. Mm-hmm.
That's going to be an inconvenience for a lot of people.
Big inconvenience. How many people do you think ride the subway during the week?
I don't know.
40,000 people
40,000
every weekday ride the subway in Baltimore. And they say the whole weekend, 17,000. 40,000 people per weekday.
That's times 5. That's 200,000.
That's enough money for them to fix the subway. I mean, it's frustrating because I always see like the escalators are just about always broke, and one side's working, one side not. They fixing. You got to take the steps and just different things. It's always raggedy. You know what I mean? And I would like to think that they would keep this together. The thing that frustrates me, and I'm hoping that people will see that Larry Hogan is, I'm saying this, I didn't vote for Larry Hogan. I'm not a fan. I think he is a wolf in sheep's clothing. He is a traditional Republican. So for 3 years, this is the third year of his term. When they were talking to him about the subway system, he blamed the previous administration. You've been there for 3 years. He's on that Trump stuff. How you going to keep blaming the previous administration? If 3 years in, you still blaming the previous administration, what have you been doing there? Like, that's the thing that frustrates me about him. And he throws the Baltimore mayors under the bus every chance he gets.
Our current mayor?
Her, yes, and Stephanie Wrong.
I know it's through Stephanie.
He threw her under the bus. During the whole 2015.
He didn't run her over though, did he?
No.
He just threw her under the bus.
He just threw her under the bus and just let somebody else run over. But it takes too much responsibility to run him over too.
But I tell you this, it's gonna be hard to beat him.
It is.
It's gonna be hard to beat him.
It is. I went yesterday to the subway at Mondawmin. And I was I wanted to get some pictures and see what they were doing so I could talk about it. And so they had some coach buses there, and what he does effectively This is what Republicans do effectively. They're able to change the narrative effectively. They keep saying the same thing. It could be a lie, but they keep saying it over and over again. People believe it. He keeps throwing out, well, we're putting 2.2 million in buses for this, or we're doing this, and people believe it. And that's what we're guilty of. I was out there just trying to observe and figure out what they were doing. So they had MTA workers, I'm assuming. They had some guys with some colorful vests on telling people, go here, direct, do this, do that. Because people just standing there, they don't know what to do. It's just some random coach bus sitting there. Where's this bus going? I don't know. Nobody knows. It's just, you know what I mean? You know, Mondawmin clientele is a little hood. And so so it's not like they're saying, excuse me, sir, I don't know what to do. It's like, man, what the fuck? That's all that. And so, it was interesting to watch. But so they had these coach buses. They're free, and they ride to each subway, subway center. And that's what they're doing. But this is a fiasco.
Okay, I was wondering how they were going to coordinate it, because I heard them say that he got added 46 buses,
right,
in lieu of the subway
right.
trains, and but that makes sense. They don't know where I'm going or what to do.
Yeah, nobody knows nothing, and it's just it's not cool. But I was telling a random guy sitting there, and it was a random guy sitting there, and I said, this is Larry Hogan's fault. I didn't know the guy. I just said, this is Larry Hogan's fault. So he said, what you mean, man? Larry Hogan trying to help fix it. I said, Larry Hogan caused it. Larry Hogan didn't put any money into. Larry Hogan we knew that the subway structure was messed up. It's 30 years old, and that's why they were trying to make the red line because we needed something new. Right. And then he turns around and takes the money from Baltimore and just puts it in who knows where that money went. So I just, But you say he's going to be hard to beat. Why, though?
Well, who do you see on the horizon that Cummings' wife was running? She dropped out. Gentleman from the former president of the NAACP. Jealous.
Been jealous.
It's still in the running, but he's not going to be able to beat Hogan.
He's just not strong enough.
No. And
Oprah could beat Hogan. She's not going to run. I'm just saying. She could beat him.
I can't think of anybody.
So we need a name.
Who do you think could run? Could beat him? I remember back in the day when William Donald
Sheila Dixon could beat him.
Sheila Dixon could beat Hogan. Nah, she couldn't get to be mayor. I remember when Congressman Perrin Mitchell was in Congress.
Perrin J. Mitchell?
Yes.
Yep.
Nobody was running against William Donald Schaefer, and you know what Perrin said? He said, "Listen, if we can't get somebody to run against this man, I'm going to leave Congress and I'm going to run for mayor." And Billy Murphy said, "Okay, I'll run." So I'm saying that to say that we have to pick the right people. I listened to. I was listening to a show, and they had the. I'm not gonna mention the names, but they had certain representatives from Annapolis, black. I representatives from Annapolis, and it was a man and woman. These people were clueless.
You talking about the representatives were clueless?
Yes, absolutely clueless. And on the radio, they were asking the attorney on the radio they were talking about the marijuana dispensers. Nobody black owns any of them. And so they were asking him, this attorney, can you help us draft a letter? On the radio, they asked him, can you help us draft?
On air?
On air.
Wow.
Can you help us draft a letter? Because the letter was supposed to have been sent. And so they said, we're trying to draft a letter. And so, he said, well, call me and I'll try to help you guys draft a letter. But this is on the air.
And this is an elected official.
These are two elected officials.
Right.
From Baltimore City, Indianapolis.
And these are names that people know?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Don't tell us.
Yeah.
Don't tell us.
Yeah.
Don't tell us. my Lord. Yeah. So I don't know. So
And wait a minute. The attorney that they can I tell you what the attorney name? The attorney was Dwight Pettit.
Dwight Pettit.
Dwight Pettit.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of his name. Okay.
How you forget that?
Dwight Pettit. And he said, I'll help you draft the letter. Then they said, thank you very much. And so
we need that letter.
So we see
There's a lot of marijuana smokers out there.
And so I mean, this is just the indication of why we're in the position we're in.
No doubt.
Because we have no representatives.
No doubt.
Qualified.
No doubt. No doubt.
Hogan, they get beat up every day.
Yeah, and it's ugly. So 4 weeks from now, do you think that the track's gonna be fixed?
No, I think
it's gonna take longer than that.
Probably an extension.
It's gonna take longer than that. Spending a lot of money. Two former detectives convicted here in Baltimore in this corruption trial. Are you surprised that they got a conviction?
Absolutely.
Well, this is the gun squad. You got a white guy and a black guy convicted. Federal corruption. 9 women, 3 men. Took them about a day and a half.
Did they give the racial makeup of the jury?
No. Just 9 women and 3 men. So the 2 guys were found guilty of racketeering, robbery, overtime fraud, not guilty of a firearm in the federal offense, facing 20 years in prison on each count.
Now you know what? See, I think
they're going down.
I think that police officers should do double the time, because you are here to protect us. We trust you. You automatically get the benefit of the doubt every time you walk out the door. Every time you say something, everybody gives you the benefit of the doubt. So you have to be at a higher playing field, and so we have to hold you higher. So when you fall down like that, you need to go down even lower.
Absolutely. And just listen to what these officers did. The officers broke into homes, stole cash, resold drugs that were looted during the riot, lied under oath to avoid detection. Public defenders who often question, police officers about testimony, they were even shocked at the revelations that happened. So it could be thousands of tainted cases stretching all the way back to 2008.
It goes back all the way to 1800s.
Yeah.
They've been doing this since we've been here.
So far, 125 cases involving 8 indicted police officers have already been dropped because they messed the cases up with their involvement and things that they were doing.
But see, what they're going to try to do is play on people's minds and say, well, that squad, we've eliminated them, so they're not around anymore. It's not that squad. It's the mentality of the police department, not just here but across the country. And you're absolutely right. And here's the other thing. This goes back to since 2015. This mentality of this group, this gun squad, whatever they were called, is very similar to probably what happened with Freddie Gray. Mm-hmm. Corruption, lying under oath, doing dirty stuff, and they got away with it, as most officers do get away with it. Right. And I'm glad that they convicted them, because now we need people who do wrong, regardless of their position, they need to go to jail.
Right.
And it will stop this.
Right.
When they get into trouble, they need to stop paying them, because they suspend them with pay. You need to be suspended without pay. If I got kicked out of my job, I'm not gonna get paid. They're gonna suspend me. So the same thing should be done for them.
Yeah. So 4 other detectives pled guilty and will face reduced sentences. The drug dealers were given immunity. And they testified against these disgraced officers.
Hoodlums.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Like, because dirty scumbum hoodlums need to go to jail.
One officer that testified against them said that they were thugs
Yes.
who stole cash, resold drugs, and engaged in rampant overtime fraud.
And what was worse about them, that's even worse than the so-called drug dealers that they talk about, is that there's a code of ethics. Drug dealers, these people had none.
Yeah, street people do have some codes.
They
Yeah,
had
these guys had
they
no
had
code.
none.
Yeah.
None at all.
I also thought that it was good that they talked to Marilyn Mosby after this conviction. I'm sure that she's sitting there like, I tried to tell y'all, you know what I mean, when she was trying to get the other officers.
Right.
But she just said that the police corruption is a hindrance to public safety and degrades the trust in the criminal justice system, and it puts the lives of hardworking and dedicated officers at risk, which is true. And so she said, we must continue to drive out corruption and shine light on the callous criminals that dishonorably wear the badge.
And you know, the change the crime, the officers who shot the Gaines girl in Baltimore County,
Yeah.
he's on the stand crying yesterday.
Yeah. What's gonna happen in that case?
Oh, nothing. Yeah, I don't think that.
And we're talking about Corey Gaines.
Yeah.
Killed in.
Son shot, and the little boy was shot in the face.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know they didn't want us to.
They
know
didn't
that.
They didn't put that out there.
No,
like that.
no, shot in the face and killed your mother. And they walking.
So you think that's going to be a different result? You think?
Well, you know, the criminal case has already been dismissed, but this is I think they'll be he's going to be exonerated probably. Baltimore County probably will.
Last thing I want to well, let me say this before we go there. During the time this trial was going on, no murders in the city. Trial ends. We get our first murder today. Is there any connection there? No?
Sounds like, you know, while the trial was going on, everybody's scared. It was like, let's just cool this down. Let's just say, hey, act like you got some sense out here on the streets.
Right.
Okay? To the police officers.
Oh, right. You said that's what you said.
Yeah, they was there to the police officers.
That's right.
Yeah, not to the citizens, to the police officers. And now that, yeah.
Like, you remember on the Hill Street Blues when they would do the meeting before they sent
Exactly.
everybody out?
Exactly.
During that meeting.
Exactly. and in some groups that, 4 or 5 get together who are working their thing. Because my thing is that all these murders, you look at 300-400 people killed in the city. The police are involved, and so many of them are unsolved. Just, 2 people were shot yesterday, killed. 1 died. Nobody cares. They just go on to the next story because they wanted to become routine. And
you think you need more policemen? You need more of this to bring more law and order to the city?
We need to bring ethics back into the police department. Whether I'm not saying it's ever been there, I'm just saying we need to bring quality people in who are concerned about the city and are concerned about getting life back in a humane way. The people, the police department has been corrupt, and everybody knew it. The black community obviously has known it because it's been a burden on us. White people have always given them the benefit of the doubt. Well, the police officer said that it didn't happen that way, and his life was threatened. He felt threatened, and so he shot him. I just heard, and I can't remember the actress' name. I just heard it yesterday. She beat up the police. They showed his picture. Beat him in the face. She's alive, though.
Did they discharge a weapon?
No. Didn't do a thing to her.
Yeah, she had a rough day. She was on her period, Your Honor. Last thing I want to touch on. The White House is proposing to deliver food to food stamp recipients. And I don't know how well that's going to go over, but the Trump administration has proposed this reform to the food stamp program. And the revision will take nearly 50% of poverty-stricken Americans' cash benefits and replace it with a box of food that the government will deliver directly to their homes.
Well, the trailer park people ain't gonna like that.
The trailer park people definitely not gonna like that.
They go, yeehaw! They're not gonna like that. They're not gonna. And then Trump and them administration will probably try to sell it. They say, well, Oprah and them do it to the rich people. They're trying to lose weight. We send them their food. I mean, in a box, delivered to them. Why can't you get your food in a box?
Yeah,
And,
they got a whole name. They got a name for it and everything.
Yeah.
So the budget director Mick Mulvaney described this as America's harvest box, and he said this is the blue apron for food stamp recipients, and they're serious. Mm-hmm. They're serious. So right now, the affected households received a minimum of $90 per month in cash benefits, and they want to cut that in half. That is
so now they get average of $90 to buy food with. So they can select the food they want.
Well, they get $90 in cash, and then they get additional money in food that can just be used strictly for food.
So what are they proposing? They want
to cut that money in half and then send them these boxes.
To cut the $90 in half?
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this right here would affect 38 million people. Mm-hmm. So what they don't understand is this is the result of the tax breaks and some of the other things that they've been doing. They're trying to pay for the budgets that they've outlined, right, that people thought was, so good, right? Now they're trying to pay for this on the opposite end, and they want the people to pay for it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I was listening to a guy who said he got a pay raise of $2 on his check. $2.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure that's working out for him. So this is crazy. I think this is going to really cause people to change. So this whole thing is supposed to save $130 billion over a 10-year period. So that's what they're doing with this. So is this going to happen?
I don't think they're going to pass it. I don't think they're going to get through. I don't think so.
Yeah, I hope not, because this would cause all kind of confusion in the world. So do you still think Trump's going to make it through the whole time?
No, if they don't get him out in 2018, he'll stay in for the 4 years. So they gotta get him out this year.
I think that where they're at right now with his attitude with domestic abuse, I think that's really going to alienate a lot of these white women more so. Well,
it seems like it. I saw a program the other day. It was humorous. It was a black comment. It was a black lady, and 3 white women, and the black woman said it's because of white women that Trump is in office.
True that.
Black women black women are doing their part, leading this country on the right path, and the white women had to agree. They said, well, this year I think we're going to jump on the bandwagon because we started in. She said, well, we started in. Virginia, we started in Virginia because we voted in Virginia, and I think that we're going to get on the bandwagon. So they agreed. You're right. 65% of white women voted for more. 65.
Well, a lot of those women down there, they I don't know.
White 65% white women.
Of course,
right?
Of course,
and. So they've got to get on the bandwagon if they.
And we got to get out and vote too.
Yeah, but we do, obviously.
Yeah.
We do. They keep saying it, but black people we get out and vote. And we vote for the right people.
Yeah. So, definitely thank you
Yes, sir.
again.
Yes, sir.
As always. So we'll be back next week, and it's a never-ending thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just never ending. But of course, people can always check out any broadcast that you miss at radioonfire.com. Just click the shows. You can click the name of the show you want to see, and you'll be able to see every episode of all of our current shows, and even the old shows, or shows that are no longer in production. You can see all of those shows, radioonfire.com/shows.